Hi everyone, welcome to this industry fireside chat. My name is George. I'm the head of comms at Ukie. It's a really interesting one actually this time out because we've got someone who's talking to us about something very special coming out of a company that you may well know and a lot of you probably love. That's a little bit unexpected. I don't want to ruin the surprise just yet. So what I'm going to do is instead I'm going to introduce my guest. It's Rich Jones. He's from Konami. And Rich, what are you working on at the moment? Because this is a bit of a break from tradition for Konami, to say the least.
Hi, thanks, George. So we're here to talk about some external publishing sort of program that we're putting into place. So this is really a Konami Europe, along with my colleagues in the US. We're looking for kind of Western content to be published for Western audiences, really. So we've still got everything going on in Japan as per usual, and this is kind of complementary to that. So we're looking for external content and publishing opportunities.
Which means that you're looking for it, but also interestingly, I think to go alongside this announcement, you've actually got the first one coming out of the gate. Do you want to tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first one, which everyone will see, is a game called Scale Attack. From a studio called Yakuza, an American studio. So the story behind that is that we met them at GDC a couple of years ago. We've been in contact ever since. We saw a very early prototype of what they had. We kind of loved the sort of the irreverent kind of humor and the charm and the tone to it. The very Tim Burton-esque sort of feel behind it. Got on really well with the guys, loved the fact that they knew what they had with this game. They knew where they wanted to take it, and it kind of seemed like a really good fit for Konami and Yakuza to partner up on that. And yeah, as you say, it's out now. So that's the first example of this program that we're talking about.
Fantastic, making sure you hit the ground running, right? Coming out with something straight out of the traps, which I absolutely love. So, I mean, we touched upon it a little bit there, and a little bit of the why. So, in terms of Konami and moving into this, you're talking a lot about being complementary with the existing plan in terms of IP. So, what's Konami looking for, I guess?
So, yeah, you're absolutely right. It is about complementing. One of the things which we want to do is we want to find, I guess, Western content developed by Western studios for a Western audience. We have all our Konami IPs being looked after in Japan. They're beavering away on those. That's not going to change. That's still going to happen. So what we're actually looking for, and from our perspective, the idea was we want to start to diversify a bit. There's a wealth of talent of studios, both from indie, independent, in Europe and America. So the idea was to look to those guys and find content for our markets. I mean, obviously, I work for Konami Europe, so specifically, I'm looking for content for the European market. I think it's kind of worth saying that the parallels between the US and European market are kind of similar. So I've been working, very tightly with my colleagues in the US, and looking for Western content. Kind of as simple as that, really. We don't have any particular rules at the moment. This is quite a young program. We mentioned that Scale Attack has just come out. That's the first title that everyone will see. So we are still in the beginnings of this program. So at the moment, we're not really trying to sort of confine ourselves too much. We're open to all sorts of genres and games of all scope and size and theme, basically.
Fantastic, excellent. So you're keeping a wide open mind on these kinds of things, which is
Yeah.
it's important for publishing, but it's also important as a way of life as well, as we've all established over the course of our many respective years. So I guess one of the other questions that I've got is, you know, what are going to be the benefits you think of working with Konami? So if you're a developer out there who's on the lookout for a publisher, it's the first time Konami's entering the fray, so to speak. What do you think you're going to have to offer?
Sure. You know what, George? That's something which we were asking ourselves that, over and over. That's kind of become a bit of a question that we keep asking ourselves. In this day and age, there's so many routes to market for studios. One of which is still a publisher partner, and I think for certain studios and certain teams, the publisher partner is still a really strong route. Not all studios want to have in-house marketing or PR or that sort of thing. They want to concentrate on making the games. So the advantage of partnering with a publisher is that the publisher can bring the commercial side to it. Whether that's marketing and sales, or whether that's sort of QA localization and other slightly more development based kind of items that we bring. As far as Konami ourselves are concerned, one of the things we kept coming back to was that we wanted to put the developer first. We wanted to make sure that what we do is to complement what they're doing. We don't want to come in and start micromanaging them. These guys have a vision of what they're doing. And the idea is that we wanted to put them first. We wanted to bring the expertise that Konami has to help maximize the partnership for both parties. Konami doesn't need any introduction. We're an international company. We're a global company, but we have roots in pretty much all territories. So we do still have we have the global coverage, but we have that local approach, if you like. So we have obviously a huge team in Japan and Asia, and then also in North America and Europe as well. So we have all that international side covered. And I think another interesting thing, perhaps, that Konami brings. I mean, there's plenty of people out there, offering these publishing services and doing a fantastic job. But I guess one of the things which we kept coming back to that Konami has as an advantage is those deep roots to Japan. So although myself, I am I'm looking out for Konami Europe. I'm looking for product for Konami Europe itself. But I think one of the appealing things that Konami can offer to potential partners is that route into Japan, and the rest of Asia as well. So if they're looking for that, then Konami could be an interesting company to speak to.
An interesting way of opening up that potentially very valuable door as well, which I think is what a lot of people are going for. So I think one of the other questions that I've got, and I know that this is one of the questions people often ask us, and it's probably a bit more general, but it's about advice for people who are going out and seeking publishing anyway, because presumably, opening up your doors, you're going to see a lot of people coming towards you, seeing whether or not they could maybe get their game published by you. What kind of things, are you looking for? What are your top tips for that ultimate pitch to make sure that it really cuts through?
I think everyone's looking for that. Everyone's looking for that innovation, aren't they? Everyone is looking for that next kind of that next. I guess the game that either develops a genre and builds upon it or reinvents itself. That's what everyone's looking for. But I think the pitch itself. So that's kind of what you want. You want the diamond in the rough. That's what we're all looking for. As far as getting noticed by a publisher, I mean, I can only speak from our perspective, but one thing which we find incredibly useful is visuals, and in particular playable. Paper pitches are great if you're, if you're at that stage, and if you're in a position where, you're ready to invest, on faith, if you like. But I think one of the things that a lot of publishers need to see, particularly with smaller teams, is actually see something running, and being able to get hands-on with a prototype or a little playable demo is perfect. If not, video, is very good. But the old saying about a picture being worth, 1,000 words. The picture's worth 1,000 words. Then getting your hands on and playing a demo is probably worth what, 1,000,000 words or something. So, I think that's what I would say. Certainly from our perspective, it makes it so much easier if we've got something we can get hands on, and particularly when you're sharing it, with colleagues, and particularly with Japan. There's it's so much easier for us to show a demo than it is to describe it, and have translation and that sort of stuff. So that would be my top tip for pitching to me, at least.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, video games, they very the video bit is very important, especially, and the game bit even more so, some may argue. But no, but that's absolutely fantastic. And so, I think I've got one final important question for you about this. So you're out there looking for new games to go and publish. You're looking for those opportunities. According to what I've read, you're looking from indie all the way up to AA. But the big question is, if someone's got that idea and they're thinking, I want to go out and pitch to Konami, how do they go about doing so? What's the best way for them to get in contact with you?
I think the best way at the moment is probably to email me. I'm sure we can put some contact details up at the end of this. So yeah, my doors and my email, my inbox is open.
Exactly, and that's it, and it's that open-minded approach as well, which means that I'm hoping that someone will pitch to you a spiritual successor to the ISS 2000 football RPG mode, which still remains my very much favoured Konami experience. So just that's the free idea for all you developers out there. But thank you so much, Rich, for taking the time to join us. It's really appreciated.
Fantastic, thanks, George. Lovely to speak to you.